Jay-Z is scared of 50 Cent now that the things he said about him are coming to light. Allegations of adultery, coaching up-and-coming artists, and even a covert agreement with Beyoncé have surfaced. The company's owner, Jay-Z, advised his inner circle to avoid 50 Cent. 50 is now identifying everyone that Jay-Z attempted to destroy.
You know, I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music, because 50 Cent is coming. And, you know, 4 months later in the club hit and it was over. It was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tidal wave out.
It's a huge difference. Energy, internationally, 50 Cent. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling record sold 5 million. Let them be fooled in America. I think there's a competition there. Because America could be purchased. You can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, marketing dollars go around.
That's why I made a statement about Taylor Swift.
I wish you would come take one of my awards so I could black his eye. In front of everybody.
And they disagree.
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
Does that bother you? Does it bother you? No, it doesn't bother me. It's just his choice.
Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
The public is responding to his punk presentation. It's not 50 Cent. I don't have a problem with it. Kanye would not take a trophy from him. Neither Jay-Z. Right. Neither one of them. What would you have...
The two have been at war since 50 Cent referred to Jay-Z as a poser in his song How to Rob from the 1990s. 50 knew Jay-Z was all bark, and no bite even in those early days. Jay-Z was limited to using his connections to blacklist and disparage other artists. Jay-Z made every effort to halt the sales of Nis's song, even after they had a falling out years later. In an attempt to flood the market before it plummeted, Jay did the same with 50. Regretfully, Diddy and Jay-Z were constantly disparaging black artists, while also promoting their cause. Jay-Z also blackballed Beanie Sigel. Jay-Z's and Beanie's records would be released on the same day.
You couldn't be bigger than Jay-Z. You couldn't sell more records than Jay-Z. But all you had to do was listen to Beanie Sigel, and Beanie Sigel was, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, he said that. That was the first of me actually hearing it. Like, oh shit. Like, I used to have questions like why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top of me. He wouldn't let me breathe, or right before me. Like, I was always close, and I always thought like, damn, if a kid, back then it was physical copies. So if you had $20, 20 bucks that you saved up and you was gonna buy an album, and it's under the same house, Rockefeller, between Jay and Beanie Sigel, you know, 9 times out of 10 you won't buy the Jay-Z album. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on top. And it was like, damn, like to have in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe. But to maliciously plot to hold me back, I don't know, man. I don't believe that. I don't want to believe that. I mean, but like I said, they ain't no better than me.
Jay-Z even attempted to prevent 50 Cent from performing at the Super Bowl. Eminem had to personally request that 50 be put back to the lineup. For a long time, M and 50 have been closely related.
The big homie Jay-Z, right? I said to my nephew, I said, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, why? Who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand. And he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, well, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. He said, no, Eminem called directly on 50. And he said, that's his guy. He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 on.
But that's his guy.
That's
And guess who Dre's guy?
your guy.
50 has always been there to support others around him, regardless of his level of achievement. Even though 50 is a rap superstar, Tony Yo believes it's fantastic that other black musicians can still relate to him. Jay-Z, on the other hand, presents himself as too large for everyone.
He's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know, he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay gotta remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy shit coming up. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay? So I think people are just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you gotta remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy, man.
Wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he didn't want that.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hate. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay, I don't know, 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted to bid. I don't know.
Because of what, some of the
I mean, you know, it's competition. You gotta think, 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what,
but after that, they did a song together. Remember the whole,
of course, but 50 was always competition for. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. Joe Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You gotta remember, he came after Jay and Rockefeller, G-Unit came, and people might G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the effect that we had.
20, y'all. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaires lunch. Yeah. You understand?
Right.
And we here together, and we're gonna keep staying together. We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. It ain't nothing else to us.
You also come with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
To us.
I had to be there.
We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. It ain't nothing else.
I got some of this fish in there, like, yeah. I hate you, man. Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you just this year. Come on, bro.
Above all, Jay-Z is a businessman, and money has driven his whole career. For financial gain, he even wed Beyoncé. 50 refers to Beyoncé and Jay-Z's relationship as a contract. Jay-Z has won Grammy after Grammy since he married Beyoncé. He wants everyone to think he is untouchable.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies can't ruin anybody. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I'm listen, if you look at this career, you know what I'm saying? He show up. He got like 20 now. He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life. You're not wrong. You was at the same time. You got some shit you ain't drinking. Fix the cop.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
You can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. All right, and you go prior to that, 1.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came to an association, like you see, the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. They don't rap yet, and they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them.
Why are you so on top of the business side of Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Some people like to just be an artist.
Yeah, I was actually forced to be an artist and a businessman because when I tried to get a deal, I couldn't get a deal, so I had to create Rockefeller Records. We actually created Rockefeller Records from nothing. And, so I was forced to know both sides.
It's possible that Jay-Z and Beyonce's continuous infidelity stems from the fact that their marriage was only a contract they made to further their careers. Additionally, Jay-Z is charged with cheating on Beyonce with Rihanna. When Rihanna was signed by Jay-Z, she was just 16 years old. After being flown into America by herself, Rihanna was made to perform by herself in Jay-Z's hotel room. At 3 a.m., he signed her.
Rihanna. The diva Rihanna. She's from Barbados?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, she's Asian. How did you come in contact with her? I mean, did you fly over there?
No, Jay Brown had actually bought me the song. She had a song right now that's I wouldn't say massive because of her roots, but she has this outrageous song called Pony Replay. And then he played that song for me, and I was scared. I was like, that song's too big for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, a new artist, when the song is that big, it's hard to come back from. And I don't sign songs, I sign artists.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Won't you break down the difference between that? Because the human public might not understand that.
Some people chase a hot song for a minute, and then they sign it, based on the song. I want to sign it based on an artist, based on or based on the swag, or based on the level of talent, based on the writing, So I was a little reluctant when I first heard the song, and then, he kept going, Jay Brown, he kept being persistent. I was like, bring her by. And when she walked into our office, I was like, she just had, it was just something about her. She had this, it was just something about her. Then she performed the song, and I was like, okay. Okay, then, we sat down and we talked. And they were talking about how she would stay in the studio and try to get the verse over, then come back the next day. I was like, work ethic, everything is there. So we signed it that night. We didn't let her leave the office.
Really?
The 3 a.m. was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 a.m. Wow. That day I was absolutely.
Jaguar has been warning us about Jay-Z. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading, but the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not, but she was around. And she's very... She's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry. What I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows. I was tricked to Death Jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look at her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room. Auditioning. at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone, with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def Jam.
Jay-Z's questionable past doesn't stop here. In December 1999, Jay-Z was accused of stabbing music entrepreneur Lance Unruh during a high-profile event held at the Kit Kat Club in New York City.
A rap star is busted.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
For Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults, you know, I'm not a...
Furthermore, Jay-Z has admitted to both 2007 and 2014 of cheating on Beyoncé. There were rumors that Jay-Z was seeing someone. Do you recall the footage from the 2014 Met Gala after party where Jay-Z and Solange got into a confrontation in an elevator? Beyoncé supported whatever Solange was doing, so she simply observed and let it happen.
Difficult to say, I'm going to talk about the problems in our marriage. I'm going to talk about how we almost lost things. And for her to say, I'm going to talk about my pain and anger at you. What were those conversations like?
Again, it didn't happen in that way. It happened, we were using our art almost like a therapy session, and we started making music together. And then the music she was making at that time was further along. So her album came out as opposed to the joint album that we were working on. We still have a lot of that music. And this is what it became. There was never a point where it was like, I'm making this album. I was there.
Right.
I was right there the entire time.
And what was her reaction to your work, and what was your reaction to hers? They must have caused
I think it was
pain
both
for each of you, right?
Of course. And both very, very uncomfortable, but sitting in that, the best place in the, hurricane is like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
We were sitting in the eye of that hurricane, and maybe not use hurricane because so many people are being affected right now, but the best place is right in the middle of the pain.
Right.
And that's where we were sitting, and it was uncomfortable. And it's a lot of conversations, and really proud of the music she made, and she was really proud of the art I released. And, at the end of the day, we really have a healthy respect for one another's craft. I think she's amazing. Most people walk away and like divorce rate is like 50% or something because most people can't see themselves. The hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you caused and then have to deal with yourself.
Yeah.
So most people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to look inside yourself, and so you walk away. This is my soulmate, this person I love, and you can be in love with someone. You can love someone and you're not. And if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, then you're gonna have complications, period. And if you can either address it or you can pretend until it blows up at some point. And, for us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You to break that cycle. For black men and women, to see a different outcome. Like you were saying, it's not this celebrity couple. We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened to...
Industry insiders were aware of Jay-Z and Beyoncé's connection from the beginning. Jay-Z's relationships with Rachel Roy, Rita Ora, and Rihanna Wen. He was Beyoncé's husband. Furthermore, when Beyoncé acknowledged that Jay-Z was cheating but did nothing about it, It was obvious that they were just married for business.
Twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay-Z as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. Jay-Z has denied the allegations in a statement on Roc Nation's Instagram, calling the accusations heinous and urging a criminal complaint be filed instead of a civil one. He also criticized the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, accusing him of exploiting the case for personal business.
Jay-Z isn't being honest. Rumors circulated a few months back that he was also related to Diddy. We are all aware about Diddy's escape. You can do anything if you have enough money.
I'm worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them, just ask questions. You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people take up your past and try to pull stuff up. I don't got it in my past. Everybody got a little. I took a pill. But it was for me to perform that. For her to remember what. I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the happened. What the is going on here, bro? I took the pill. Yes, I took the pill. I gave me the drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that. It worked. Yo, bro, I'm doing pretty good. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, you said it's the opposite of normal that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for people.
So for people to feel like you would have something or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too, then this is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is
so
that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is...
Since he has nothing to conceal, 50 isn't afraid of anybody, but the rest of the company remains silent. Jay-Z was accused of drugging women by 50 Cent on an episode of the Blatant podcast. They, Diddy, and Jay-Z all participated in these crimes, which is why they are keeping quiet.
Because in the ad, right? Because of look, Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL has some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I with him, because like with Nori was, we had communication. You see, yeah, that's why I talked to the big homie. You said to Jay, he was telling me, you know, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without 50, right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh, now that's your big homie, right? And so you image yourself after a gay painter. Okay. Big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
So now look, what I'm saying to you is, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, they are, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with him.
After this, 50 continued on Big Boys TV. Big homie, want to look like a gay painter? He said bluntly he was referring to Jay-Z. If it sounds weird, he was also making fun of Jay's recent attempts to mimic Basquiat's style. He has nothing to conceal at 50, but most professionals wouldn't dare say that. He has no regard for the person he is discussing. He will communicate if he feels alienated.
Guys, if you haven't seen it, which I hadn't seen it until this morning when I saw this headline, Kim found it for me. Let's watch this clip quickly.
Crazy
Let's
that you
watch
haven't
Tyra
seen
pushing to get this out of Rihanna, and when it does, man, it made me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Audition does, but before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
You had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album. Last time. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you. Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there's this sudden feel of relief. But then he said something about a window and a door. Oh, then he said, he did it more. I did a lot of work on you just like he said, there are 2 minutes to leave here. I looked through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So he was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing. Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth, and she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed.
And
beautiful.
When I met her that day, I know she was a star. Like, just her look, the way she walked into a room and her confidence, and she performed in my office.
And she was what, 17 years old at that
She
point?
was 16.
16, and she had the confidence of it. She's
Yeah.
like an old soul in a sense, right?
Absolutely.
So she walks in your office and what? She just belts out a tune?
Belts out of tune, she performs, and I tell her, there's no way out of this office. I signed today.
For years, Jaguar Wright has been criticizing Jay-Z. She has collaborated with Jay-Z, therefore she is familiar with his abilities. She claims that Jay-Z is protected by the firm because he is dangerous rather than merely crafty and is too strong to be challenged.
Accusation about Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old. Right. And we were speaking about just the statement. Right. The statement you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was the statement is something from, you can tell it was written by a lawyer. There's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. It says like they're gonna find out like how I'll handle this. Like, and that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like the publicist would say. It's like,
This is on your, this is on, it says, I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a free.
yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because they will fall back. Like the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah, I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of the culture. I'm just telling you my opinion.
Right.
Look, this is you said the culture. Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm like I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre.
Right.
And then, maybe I stay out of trouble.
Accusation about Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old.
Right.
And we were speaking about just the statement. Right. The statement you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, the statement is something from, you can tell it was written by a lawyer. There's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. It says like you're gonna find out like how I'll handle this. Like, and that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like the publicist would say. It's like,
this is on your, this is on, it says, I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a free.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because they will fall back. Like the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah. I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of the culture. I'm just telling you my opinion.
Right.
Look, this is you said the culture. Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm like I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre.
Right.
And then, maybe I stay out of trouble.
50 Cent asserts a connection between Diddy and Jay-Z. Both of them belong to the same group. Diddy and Jay-Z are identical, with the exception that Jay-Z is more cunning and operates in the background. 50 Cent doesn't give a damn about your marriage, your level of authority, or the boardroom you work in. He talks about it without hesitation, and to be honest, someone had to. 50 continues to rip back the veil while the rest of the company remains mute. What's emerging from the shadows now paints a picture of Jay-Z not just as a mogul, but as a man whose empire was meticulously curated and just as tightly guarded. While 50 Cent has never shied away from shaking the industry's foundations, his recent revelations are part of a larger undercurrent within hip-hop, where power, silence, and loyalty often intertwine. Jay-Z allegedly advising his circle to steer clear of 50 isn't just about fear, it's a strategic distancing from a disruptor who knows too much. Sources whisper that 50 has been privately gathering stories for years, stories that many insiders were afraid to share publicly. One example: the alleged attempt to block 50 from the Super Bowl lineup didn't just cause tension with him. It reportedly created friction between Jay-Z and the NFL itself, with executives concerned about optics and cultural authenticity. There's also growing speculation that Jay-Z's influence in blackballing artists goes beyond Beanie Sigel, or NAS rumors suggest artists like Lupe Fiasco and even Tidalear creatives felt pushed out when they didn't align with his larger vision. Meanwhile, 50's consistent support for his J-Unit circle and beyond paints a contrast. Someone who, despite his cutthroat image, continues to uplift lesser-known names, many of whom echo his experiences. As for the Beyoncé contract marriage theory, industry veterans have hinted for years that their union was a power merger, not just a love story. Jay-Z's alleged infidelities with high-profile names like Rihanna, Rita Ora, and even whispers around Rachel Roy are more than tabloids. They've been part of quiet studio talk for a decade. The 3 a.m. hotel signing of Rihanna when she was just 16 raised internal eyebrows even back then, though no one dared speak up publicly. And the infamous Met Gala elevator incident? New speculation suggests Solange may have been reacting to an explosive confrontation over business entanglements involving Rachel Roy, not just cheating. What's most intriguing now is how these narratives have lived behind closed doors. While Jay-Z maintained a pristine public persona, often celebrated for his business acumen and philanthropy, but as 50 continues peeling back layers, figures like Jaguar Wright, who once feared repercussions, are gaining traction again for claims they made years ago. There are whispers that the company Jaguar referenced the entity supposedly protecting Jay-Z is not just ROC Nation, but a broader, high-level network where loyalty often overrides legality. And while many are cautious to name names, 50's insinuations about Diddy suggest a shared strategy among elite moguls: keep your circle tight, your secrets tighter, and your image invincible. 50, of course, has no interest in playing that game. His recent mocking of Jay-Z's Basquiat-inspired image isn't just a joke, it's symbolic. He's calling out the curated genius, the museum-level mythology, the attempt to become a cultural deity. And in doing so, he's asking the question so many avoid: when did authenticity become performance, and who gets to rewrite history in their favor while silencing the rest? Furthermore, Jay-Z does not want you to see the picture of a multi-billionaire businessman. What do you believe 50 Cent is aware of, but the other members of the corporation are unwilling to discuss publicly?